Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Courtney Ryan, and today I have a group of girls who are going to tell us how to tell a girl likes you, how to tell she's into you, and I'm also going to give them some different scenarios because I do know that the way we show attraction or the way we show interest can be different depending on the situations that we're in. So we're going to be going over how to tell she's interested over texting, how to tell she's interested at a party, a bunch of different scenarios. They're going to be spilling the secrets of how you can tell if the girl likes you or not. Let's get into it. Number one is texting. So when you're texting a guy you like, how do you typically act with him?
I'm very flirtatious in what I say. I'm a quick responder. If I'm on my phone and you reply to me, I'm not gonna just open your message and act like I didn't see it. I'm, pretty transparent. I'd be sending flirty text messages, using emojis, that kind of show I'm into you, things of that nature, trying to make plans.
I overthink it every time, personally. I don't want to use the word calculated, but I don't want to act too interested, but I don't want to pull back too much to where they're like, she's boring and she's sending me like 2-word messages every time. So I give just enough so that they reply and we're having good conversation, but not so much that they're like, okay, she's extremely into me.
I don't do small talk when I text. So if it's something like, hey, what's up, every day, I think that's boring and annoying, and I don't usually respond to those messages. I prefer deep, long conversations that are gonna make me want to look at my phone. Not, hey, what's up, or how was your day? I guess how was your day? That could actually be, that could be a polite question, so it'd be a little rude to ignore it.
Oh, I'm flirting. I'm throwing in emojis, winkies. Yeah.
Okay, so that's how you flirt over text, is the emojis that you use.
Yeah, but I'm also funny. I'll crack jokes and kind of just be like, oh, I don't know.
You'd have to think about it, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd be like, wait, I don't have a text in my mind.
If I'm responding to his text quickly and if I'm engaging in the conversation and adding to the conversation, then I like you.
I would say I act funny. I'm typically responding in a good amount of time. A little flirty, funny gifs.
Do you text him first or do you wait for him to text you? If
I'll
you like
text
him
first. Yeah.
I think it depends on the situation. I'm totally fine with texting first. I think guys like that. I think too many girls wait around and, they want the guy to talk to them first. I mean, it's 2022. Reach out to them if you want to talk to them, in my opinion.
Okay. Oh, I text first all the time. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
It depends. If it's super new, if I know I have a shot and I know that I'm just, I know he's interested, then yeah, I'll text first. But if he's, I'm playing the game a little bit, I might wait, but see if he texts me, and then maybe I'll be like, okay, maybe I text him now.
I typically like to wait for the man to text me. I feel that it shows he's interested versus that I'm chasing him.
I would text him first. If I'm interested, I would text him first.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you said you kind of are a little bit more calculated, but do you think that you say a lot when you're texting, or do you try to keep it kind of short?
I think it depends on who I'm talking to. Some guys are boring. I mean, they're cute and I'm interested, but they're having boring conversation. I'm not going to talk their ear off if they're not really acknowledging what I'm saying in our conversation. But if they are well-spoken and, they want to talk about things that, are interesting, then I think that I'll go a little bit more in depth.
I feel a lot. Not paragraphs, but, not just sup. More hey, what are you doing today? What are we eating for lunch? Stuff like that.
I feel if it's a conversation, I try to elaborate a little bit so he can get to know me. Sometimes if it's just kind of, what's up? Nothing. How about you? It's so boring.
So you prefer when it's more of a conversation versus...
I do. But I also don't... If I'm getting a long paragraph, I'm I'm not reading this. So
yeah,
maybe just a little bit, keep the conversation going.
I try to keep it, short and just nice casual conversations. I'm more in depth in person.
So you're kind of just texting to lead up to the next time you see them or hang out with them, not more so texting all the time, novels in your phone.
Absolutely.
I say a lot.
Yes, if I like a guy, I will engage in conversation more. My text messages will be longer, more thought out, so maybe take a little longer for me to respond, I think. Yeah.
How do you flirt over text?
Sexy type of language, you know, like, I can't stop thinking about you, I can't stop thinking about your body, I can't stop, you know, wanting to be around you, things of that nature. Just letting them know that their presence is something I miss.
A lot of emojis, saying LOL a lot, and just a lot of emojis. Yeah.
I make a lot of jokes. Like, I poke fun, not in a mean way. Again, it's very, like, I don't know. I think that there's a line there. Like, I poke fun at them. I use a lot of sarcasm. I'm very sarcastic. A lot of people don't get it because I have very dry sarcasm. My friends are always like, we can't tell when you're joking. And I think it's like that with guys too, even worse over text in a way, because they can't hear my voice or read my expression, but it works out for me.
So you're a little bit more playful.
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
You like the banter of the back and forth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say if she's responding pretty fast, you know, let's say she's at work, obviously give her some time. But if she's like keeping up the conversation, texting you back, maybe he's like, hey, like, what are you doing? Maybe she wants you to ask her out. If she's, you know, obviously if you can tell, it's like she's sending a winky in there. I mean, sunglass emoji? No. Kissy face? Yeah.
Emojis are important to know how people are feeling, because over text it's so hard to decipher everyone's emotions. So emojis.
So I'm like a big emoji person. Sorry if people hate emojis. But so I'll probably like, you know, like hey handsome, you know, like winky face, send cute pictures. I think like that's important, you know, like so you don't forget what I look like. I'll send you something cute. So yeah.
And then how would you say a guy could tell if she's not interested over text? Like, say a guy's texting you, he's nice, but you're really not into him, you don't like him at all, there's nothing happening there. How are you texting him?
I'm not. But sometimes, you know, it depends. Like, if he's, you know, really persistent and I'm like, okay, maybe I should give him a shot. Maybe I should go for it. I'll be a little bit more vague with my responses. I'll be a little bit more shorter. Yeah, I would say that.
I think that quicker replies and longer replies, in my opinion, express more interest. Guys I don't really want to talk to, I reply like every 4 or 5 hours, or like 3 days later I'm like, oops, sorry, I got caught, like I was busy with work. But if I'm interested in them, I'm not going to reply immediately, but you know, maybe like every 10, 20 minutes, I'll reply to their message. And I think that most girls would probably agree with that.
The conversation is interesting, you know, like she's making the time to text you back. Like if you text her and then like she doesn't text you back for like 3 days, she's probably not that interested and she's talking to somebody else.
I think the first thing would be their response time. Now, people have jobs and people have social lives as well, and that's all good and dandy, but if you guys were just having a conversation, you know, a few moments ago and you're trying to make plans and all of a sudden she's not replying to you, it may give you the hint she's not fully interested in, you know, committing to that time. And if she was, you know, she would do that. And also by how she responds to you. She's very short, one-worded. She's not looking to engage in a conversation.
I just never respond, ever. I just won't respond. And if I do respond, it's like one word.
One wording text, just not interested, taking forever to respond. Not texting back, that's me. I just won't even, that's rude, but I'm being honest.
You don't like him, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then a lot of times I think girls will text maybe because they're bored, maybe because they want a little bit of attention. How can a guy tell when that is the case or the girl actually genuinely likes him?
I think there's a few things that come into play there. About the time that she texts you, you know, if she's always texting you late at night, kind of after she's hit the bar with her friends, she's probably just looking for some late night attention. If she wants to make plans with you, that's a little bit more of a way to know that she's interested in hanging out. And if she straight up doesn't reply for a few days, she's probably not interested.
That becomes the hey, what's up? like a hey, what's up text message, like, oh, I'm bored, I just want to chat, kind of. That's kind of how I take that. And I personally would never send that text message. I feel like I don't know. I just don't.
So it's more surface level rather than more in-depth, thought out.
Yeah, it's more just like, hey, what's up? How's your day? Okay, cool. I'm good. And then that's it. That's like a boredom, out of boredom, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I think, you know, with this scenario, I think that most people, you know, might be texting just because they have the free time, but you'll know that she's interested in the conversation if she's asking you questions. Maybe she's wants to learn more about you, not just, you know, the general, oh, you know, what's up with your day? How's your day? Or like, what are you interested in? You know, trying to find those deeper rooted questions and maybe seeing your availability for the next week.
Okay. I think a lot, I mean, depending on their messages. I mean, if they're like, oh, hey, like, what are you doing today? And it's very like casual, maybe more baseline conversation, then they're probably not interested. I don't know about other girls, but I know with me, and I don't really do that a lot, text people when I'm bored. I don't know, I don't really love texting anyways, but if I'm doing that, I'm not having super in-depth conversations that are gonna take up a ton of my time. I want just enough to where I'm not as bored, but not so much where it's taking up my, you know, my whole day. So if it's a more baseline conversation, sorry, this is a long explanation, but more baseline conversation, then, you know, maybe not.
Okay, so surface level versus going more in depth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't text because I'm bored, because I don't have time for that. But I do think that if I like a guy, I'll definitely be texting like with longer paragraphs, like adding to the conversation. Probably like more like curious about him, like asking questions about his life. But if I'm bored, I might still be texting in long paragraphs because I'm bored, but I probably won't really care about anything that he has to say.
I would say you can tell when a girl is bored when, like, if you text her something. So for me personally, I hate when a guy will like text something and it's not a message that generates you to be able to respond to. Like if you're like, hey, what you doing? And they're like, oh, I'm just chilling. You're like, okay, like, what about you? You know, like, ask, like, what am I doing? You know, so, like, conversations like that, you know, because if you're texting boring, then the girl, she's not going to be interested and respond back. So that's how you can tell, like, if you're keeping that interesting, and then, like, she's actually, like, responding back, laughing at your jokes, like, LOLing it.
And then the next scenario is social media. So if you like a guy on social media, you have a crush on someone, or you're really into someone, how do you interact with them on, say, Instagram?
Oof. I think it's common to story respond. Definitely respond to stories, like stories, be prominent in their DMs. Because if you're just liking, I mean, anyone can like a photo. Everyone just likes photos. So
Yeah.
I like everyone's photos.
So myself, I'm a pretty direct girl. I'll like their pictures and just straight up DM them and let them know, hey, I think you're looking really good here. And from there, we can just see where the conversation goes.
So you would respond to his story or message him first?
Yeah, like if he posted on a story, I'd slide up if there's a recent post to the feed. I'd probably like it and send it to him and slide up, say you're looking good.
Obviously, I'll like their pictures. I think if they put something up on their Instagram or Snapchat that I'm genuinely interested in, then I might swipe up and make a comment. I like to golf, so if a guy's out golfing at a course I've never seen before, I might swipe up and be like, oh, hey, like, did you like that course? But I don't do it in a way that's fake. Like if they're gaming, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I love Call of Duty. I hate Call of Duty. So little things like that, but not too much. I'm not reacting to every photo that they post. I'm not swiping up to every photo, but here and there, kind of dropping subtle hints. So you're still like in the back of their mind, but not being overbearing.
You know, like some pictures, you know, show some love, like in the comments. And typically, you know, like if the person is feeling you back, they slide in the DMs like, hey, cutie, and you like, what's up? And they like, hey, and, you know, let's move it to the phone. I'm like, okay. So typically just, you know, like something like that. And I feel like if you get a response, then that's how you know to like move on with it.
So you would say if a guy reached out and you didn't respond versus you did respond, that would show that you're interested.
Yeah, because like I might look at it and just like, like if it's like so if you like, hey, I think you're cute. Like you sign a DM like, hey girl, I think you cute. And she just hearts it, or she's like, oh, thank you. And she doesn't say like, oh, you're cute too, or like, hey, I like your stuff too. If she just like is very dry with it, not into you.
If I like them, usually I'll follow them and then just like a few of their photos like in a row, and then just wait and see if they notice.
Now we're moving on to social media. So Instagram, TikTok, all the social media sites. Do you message him first?
I do. I shoot my shot on Insta.
I was gonna say you
I shoot my
you're
shot
a
on
little more
Insta.
bold. Okay. What are some ways that you would message him if you're into a guy? Like what kind of messages are you sending?
I'll swipe up on something like if there's something that I can relate to. Maybe it's a dog. I'm like, oh my god, such a cute dog. Like something so stupid, but they're like, oh, they eat that shit up.
So you'll respond to his story.
Yeah, I respond to stories.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Just keep it brief, casual.
If I'm giving him attention and like if I'm giving him repetitive attention, whether it be like constantly liking his photos or constantly liking his stories or constantly like reaching out somehow, I think that would be a sign that like I like you.
It's a little bit more vague. It's a little bit more flirty. I might like swipe up and do like the, heart eye emojis on something, or I'm not sending him a whole paragraph. What is your plans this weekend? What are you doing? I might be like, oh, like, what's your Snap? Or, what's your number? Like, just kind of keep it a little bit more casual. But I'm definitely a little bit more flirty on Instagram for sure than texting.
Okay, so Instagram, like social media, is more for flirting and then leading to something else maybe.
It's casual.
Okay.
It's fun.
And then what about when you're not into a guy? Say a guy's been messaging you. How can a guy tell that you're not interested over social media?
I have two people that are sticking out of my mind, and they swipe up on every single story, and they're fire emoji, super cute, and I don't even like the message. Like, seen is seen. Okay, it says seen. So do not, if you did it once, if you did it twice, I would just say, maybe just move on.
So know when to move on when you're not getting those responses
Yeah,
back.
definitely. I mean, she just might not, be the one for you.
Okay. So if you're interested in a guy, you will respond, you will acknowledge his message.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and you'll probably interact with his stuff too.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
A quick response. I would definitely use emojis so he knows I'm happy, smiling, laughing. It would be definitely a more in-depth response because I do know that some guys who respond to my story, I just say thank you or LOL or just a little heart, thank you for saying thank you or something like that. Like, I think I would write like a sentence or two and I would interact a little more. Kind of see what I can get out of the conversation.
Right.
And that kind of determines if we have a conversation or not, like if it continues throughout the day or something. Usually it doesn't, but.
So if you like them, you're going to interact with them more than just liking the message they sent you or saying thank you or something like that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the guy that messaged me that I'm into, right away I'd probably respond with some flirty comment, letting you know that I'm into you as well. Try to have some casual conversations, lightly get to know you, and then, see if you're available for the weekend coming up. For a guy that I'm not interested in, it would probably just say seen.
Next situation here is like a party, a bar, a concert, something where drinks might be involved. So say you see a guy across the room that you think is super cute. What do you do?
I am all about eye contact. I'm very outgoing once you meet me, but like first impression, a little bit shy. So I'll usually eye contact. If they make eye contact with me, I'll usually make my way over to where they're at. And if I'm bold enough, I'll just introduce myself and talk to them or ask them what they're drinking if they're not drinking something like a Bud Light where I can obviously tell what they're drinking. Or we go to a lot of live music bars, so okay, they obviously like country music. If they're at a country music bar, that's a really easy topic for me to talk about. So I find something to relate about. But yeah, I'll approach them usually.
That's funny because a couple of my questions were, do you give the look from across the room? And I think every girl knows kind of what the look is, like the eye contact and the little smile, things like that. And then trying to move in closer to him. And you said you're a little bit more introverted. I feel like that's how girls who are a little bit more shy at the beginning kind of act when they're interacting with a guy.
Yeah.
I'll probably walk over there, but very, like, it's not going to be obvious. You know, like, so if I see him over there, I'll make it look like it's an accident. So, I'll take the long way around and I'll just move my way over, maybe, like, go to the bar next to him, like, and bump him, like, oh, I'm sorry. And then if we make eye contact, and it's, like, good eye contact, like, then I know, like, okay, to, like, move forward. Well, if it's just like, oh, I'm sorry. And then, like, he keeps doing what he's doing. I'm like, oh, okay. Divert mission.
I'm very bold. So if I like you, I'm going to approach you. If I saw a guy I really liked, I would probably just approach them. If he was, like, out of my league, then I'd probably just look at him and try to make eye contact from, like, across the room. Maybe make eye contact, like, a few times and then wait for him to approach me. Or if I think he's, like, interested, then I'll go over and approach him first.
I'm going right up to him.
Oh, so you're a more bold one. You would go straight up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I'd, like, kind of move in a little bit closer,
Okay, so one of my
I need a
questions...
drink over here.
One of my questions was, do you try to get closer to him?
Yes.
Definitely? Okay. Tell all your friends, like, oh, we should all go stand over there.
Yeah, and, like, that's just me. I'm very outgoing. I see something, I'm like, okay, like, maybe I can shoot my shot. And I'll know in, like, the first few seconds if, okay, maybe they have a girlfriend, not stepping on those toes. You'll kind of feel it out, but I would say if a girl's, like, looking at you, make that subtle eye contact. Yeah, she's interested.
I, again, am a bold type of woman. I will absolutely catcall. I actually have done this multiple times, just out and about with friends. If I see an attractive guy, whether it's his shoes, his outfit, or overall how he looks, I will absolutely let you know. I'll probably go up to you at the bar, ask you what you're drinking, if you'd like to have a shot with me or a drink, and see where the night leads us.
I think that my body language says a lot. I think body language is very important. So if a guy that I'm interested comes up to me, I would probably take a step back from my friends so I could be more open to our conversation. And then I would just engage, like, some kind of way to contact you, like a phone number. Instagram are my two go-tos because I don't really use really anything else. And if I'm not interested, I would face my friends and kind of just close off our circle so he couldn't come in. I feel like I use that actually a lot.
Yeah, I think that I will talk to anyone for a couple of minutes. So I don't love to blow people off. I don't know. I like feel guilty and rude. But so if I'm interested in them, I'll definitely give them more of my time and engage in a conversation. If I'm not, I'll say hi. If they want to exchange a couple of words, fair enough. But I'll definitely move away or be like, I'm going to go back with my friends or I'm going to go to the bathroom. So again, if I like them, I'm going to sit there, engage in conversation for as long as they want to talk to me.
Okay.
I'm a friendly person, so I like talking to people. So I would say for me, the way to know, like, if they come up to me, they're like, hey, can I get your number? And I say no, like, just, like, straight off the jump. Probably not interested, but I will still, like, give you conversation. I'm not rude. But, I feel it's better to come over and just not go straight for the number because it's very impersonal. It's just like, okay, well, you're not getting to know who I am, so how do you know you want my number? You didn't even hear me say hello. So I would say more so like, if you're having that conversation, like, hey, how are you? Oh, great, like, you look good. Always compliment a woman. It goes a long way. And if she's like, shrugging you off, not giving you much, and just kind of just like, then she's not really interested. But if she's like kind of like, flirting a little bit, smiling, giving you that good conversation, it's probably a good sign that she likes you.
Oh, I would say if you're kind of like looking around, trying to be like, oh, where are my friends? She's not interested. If she is leaned in, you know, engaged, maybe like you said a funny joke, grabs your arm. Oh, that's my go-to.
For myself, it's pretty easy. My body language is a big giveaway if I'm interested into a guy, and I especially think if you're trying to approach, you know, just a random woman up at the bar, read her body language. I think that's going to be the biggest telltale sign if she is into you. Now, if she's got girlfriends around and she's distracted, that's okay. Maybe offer her friends a shot. But for myself personally, if I'm engaging in conversation and I'm trying to, you know, keep it going and being active, you'll know by my body language. My arms won't be crossed. I'll be looking at you in the eyes and smiling and laughing. If it's a guy that I'm not interested in, I'll probably make very quick small talk and turn the opposite way, try to get the bartender's attention, and just bounce.
Every girl's been in the situation where guys came up and they're just like, they do not want to talk to them, but the guy keeps on talking. If I'm giving you like one-worded responses, or like every time you're talking I'm like looking away, like just like, then that means I don't want to talk to you. If I'm like barely responding and like pretend like fiddling with my like hair or something and looking away, I don't want to talk to you. But if I do want to talk to you and you come over to me, then if I'm like engaged, like my whole body's towards you and I'm like laughing and smiling and like actually responding to what you're saying and like adding things to the conversation, then you can like stay and continue talking.
Okay, and then what about a friend group? Have you ever had a crush on a guy friend, or have you ever had a guy friend like you?
Absolutely. And that can lead to a few different conversations. If, you know, myself as a woman has always thought of the relationship like platonic and strictly friends, I don't want to hurt his feelings and make him feel misled or that I did something, you know, that wasn't going on. But I try to just be as nice as possible if I'm not interested in making a friendship more than what it is. And if I am interested, then that's the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
And how did that go?
It's hard because you're friends and you don't want to ruin the friendship. But at the same time, I mean, like, shoot your shot, go for it. And they might be feeling the same way. I feel like it's hard with friends. I've seen it kind of crumble just because in, you know, my certain situation, as well as, you know, friends in the past, it's sticky.
Definitely so. I don't know, it was weird. So like the guy friend, because it was like 4 girls and 2 guys. The one guy, he's not really into girls, like, you know, sometimes yeah, sometimes no. But then our friend, like, he kind of liked all of us. So it's just like, you know, like if you two are alone, he's like, you know, looking at you flirty and stuff. And you're like, but weren't you just flirting with her? Because, you know, she told me y'all were like flirting. So I'm good, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm super against dating in friend groups. I have a lot of guy friends that have been my friends since I was like 12. And I've never once even made it remotely like the door's never been open for that, so not one of them has ever like asked to be anything more than a friend. I'm against it because I think it will tarnish the friendship and it will tarnish the group of friends, I think. And I'm not about dating in the friend group and I'm also not about dating like in the work, like in the co-working place, just because there's so many people out there. Just go find somebody that's not gonna ruin what you have going on.
Okay, so if you wouldn't even be into a guy in your friend group if you mentioned it.
I wouldn't even be into a guy in a friend group, so I don't even know. I haven't even put up my walls for my friend group have been so, like, everyone's so friend zoned that I've never even experienced any of the guys in my friend group like trying to hit on me. Like, there was one friend that like invited me out to Valentine's Day dinner because I didn't have a date, but he brought one of his, like another friend from the group. So that was like, it wasn't even close to a date. Yeah, because it was like, you don't invite a guy to a girl out to Valentine's Day dinner with another guy. Yeah. So it just, I don't even know what that would be like. Okay.
Yeah, I have. I think it really depends on if they're reciprocating what you're feeling. I think in the situations where I was, they weren't, which is completely fine. And for me personally, I kind of just had to learn to separate my feelings. You know, if they're not into you, they're not into you. And they're probably going to be talking to other girls at the bar, other girls when you're out. And I really just had to learn to get over it. And, you know, you just kind of have to move on.
No, I have never.
Okay.
I feel like I have never.
I think if you guys have a collective friend group that you hang out in pretty regularly and she's looking for some one-on-one time, she's probably more interested in getting to know you a little bit closer as opposed to just always seeing her when you're with the certain same friend group.
You know, is she asking you to hang out like one-on-one? Is she always texting you, hey, you know, are you going to this party? Or are you going? You know, kind of just making it like known to ask if that person's going to be there. But feel it out with your friends first. You know, maybe see how the group, not the whole group. Hey guys, don't open it up to the floor. But, you know, if your buddy, I would just be like, hey, do you think, you know, can you help me read this? Because I know I ask my girlfriends all the time, like, okay, help me out here. Do they like me? I can't tell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of use a phone a friend.
Yeah, phone a friend.
I would say like body language, you know, like if you're with her, like is she like, you know, moving her way closer to you? Is she giving you like sexy eye contact, or you'll catch her looking at you and, you know, just like you look over, she's like, so I would say hints like that, you know, maybe like in the conversation, you know, like is she being like flirty with you? Is she texting you stuff that, you know, not a lot of other people would text you, like, hey, you know, is this outfit cute? You know, like showing like some cleavage and like being a little sexy, like showing you a picture like that. That typically like a girl who's your friend wouldn't typically send you something so sexy. So I would say clues like that.
But on days when, you know, a lot of the group couldn't hang out, but he was available, I would be like, hey, do you want to go, you know, go get coffee or go grab lunch or do whatever, go watch the soccer game at college or whatever it was. And, you know, like little stuff like that, making an effort to single out him to do things without the group. And that was my way of showing. Again, it didn't work out for me 9 times out of 10, which is fine. But that was my way of letting them know, like, hey, I'm interested in hanging out with you without everyone else around.
And then what about at somewhere like the gym? I know girls have mixed feelings about approaching at the gym or like having a crush at the gym, but what would be the best way for a guy to approach you at the gym, or what do you just think about it?
I hate when I'm at the gym and I'm like on the machine out of breath. You know, I have the music in like in the groove and they're like, hey, and you're like, and they won't leave, and so you're like, yeah, and they're like, oh, what's up? And you're like, working out. Oh, okay. No, I don't know. Like, it's just, it never really worked. You know, like getting hit on at the gym. I would say maybe if like she's like walking to a different machine, then spark up conversation, or like, you know, like off the machine, or like stretching is a better time if you do want to make your move at the gym.
My gym is packed with a bunch of meatheads. So I personally don't like being bothered at the gym. Okay. Like, don't bug me. I'm working out. I'm in my zone. This is like my only free time. But if a guy were to come up to me at the gym, which they have every day, I feel like it's better to just get in and get out. Just, hey, you're cute. Let me get your phone number. And then just get out. Because if you're talking and talking and talking, like, I think that's just like, the gym is not the place, I think.
Like you're lingering too long.
Yeah.
I think that's a little tough, and that definitely all comes from body language and how they're working out. If a woman is focused on herself, she's in the mirror, she's working on her weights, and she's doing her own thing, she's probably just focused on that. Now, if she's walking around the gym, making eye contact with a couple other guys, on her phone, taking pictures, trying to get attention for herself, the best thing I would say is work out maybe on a similar machine, kind of read the energy. And then if she feels approachable, the least you can do is just let her know that she's looking good in the gym.
Yeah, so like when I work out, I'm definitely in my zone. Like I don't want to be disturbed at all. Like I just want to get my sets done and leave. If I'm interested, I guess the eye contact thing would work. Or yeah, the eye contact, maybe like asking for the machine, like approaching them and say like, hey, can I use that when you're done? And then maybe you can start a conversation there if anyone's interested. But I honestly won't approach, if you're a guy, I would not approach a girl in the gym other than eye contact and asking to use like her machine when she's done.
And then see where it goes.
Yeah, and then see if she like starts talking to you, then like okay, but never like hit a girl, like hit on a girl at the gym, because like then you have to go back to the gym like the next day. Like I'm not gonna lie, I used to go to this gym in Rocky River, and it was like my like gym that I went to every day, and I literally stopped going there because I had like a couple guys that asked me out, and I had to turn them down, and it was just awkward because then it's like you see them again, and then there was this one guy that just would always talk to me. I couldn't even get my like sets done, so I literally do not go to that gym anymore because of that.
So it's like take a hint.
Yeah, it's like take a hint. Like you're not gonna get the girl from just talking her ear off. If she doesn't like you, she doesn't like you. You continuously pounding her for your attention is not gonna get her. You're just like, maybe you'll be happy because you're like talking to her, but like that's it. Like she's not gonna like it. And
I am probably not. I have bad gym intimidation. Like when I'm at the gym, I'm there to get my workout in for my strong hour and then leave. I get uncomfortable when there are really attractive guys around me at the gym. I feel like they're judging my form and judging everything I'm doing wrong. But I think if there was a guy, and I don't think everyone has the experience I did, but at the gym, a lot of those guys are probably not the kinds of guys I would date. Can I use the word meathead? Not my type. But I think if there was a nice guy who was there working out and I had seen him a couple of times and we made eye contact, I would probably go over and say hi, and start a conversation.
And then what about the gym? So your gym crush. I think every single girl has had a gym crush at some point.
Yeah.
How do you act around him? How do you show that you're interested?
Yeah, I think I'm a little bit different because I'll make that conversation with them, or I'll give them looks at the gym. I've had multiple gym crushes, and I'm pretty good. I'm like 10 for 10. No, I'm just kidding. I don't. But yeah, I think just kind of like making it known that you're interested, or smiling, or just kind of, if they're at the water fountain, I need water. Like I'm gonna go right up there and be like, hey, cool shoes. That is my go-to always. I'm like, nice shoes.
That's amazing. So you're a little bit more bold. You approach them. You'll go when they're at a certain place.
And if I know their schedule, like I'm showing up. Like I'm showing up at the gym.
Kailee is creepy, okay? What is the best way, do you think, for guys to approach? Say a girl is not as bold and outgoing and as extroverted as you. What is a good way for guys to approach a girl at the gym? Because I know this is a bit taboo.
It is. It's hard because I know so many girls that don't like people coming up to them at the gym. They're like, I just want to work out. But I don't mind a little conversation. This one guy, I remember, came up to me, and I had a boyfriend at the time, so I didn't really read into it, but he just kind of straight out was like, hey, I don't normally come up to girls, but I don't know if that was a lie, but it worked for me. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And he's like, I just think you're really pretty, and I'd like to get to know you. Can I have your number? And I'm like, I have a boyfriend. I'm so sorry, but I'm flattered, and I had a good day after that. I felt good.
Yeah, that's a perfect response. I don't think there's any way to be offended by saying something simple like
Yeah,
that.
for sure.
I'm quick. I'm just quick to get out of there. I feel like I'm just quick to, like, and oh, thank you, and then just kind of, I feel like I end it.
Back. Yeah.
Yeah, I really just end the conversation.
Okay.
Which really sucks.
I know, it makes you feel bad, but at the same time, like, you can't stand there for 30 minutes talking to someone that you're not into.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. And I think a lot of guys read gym girls wrong, and they approach them like in the middle of a set or something and try to talk to them. My personal advice, unless she is making eye contact with you, being, flirty from afar, probably don't go up to them unless they're approaching you. That's in my personal opinion.
Okay, and then lastly here, on a date. So say you met someone on a dating app, you're going out for the first date. How can the guy tell that you're into him?
Absolutely body language and the tone that the woman's talking to you. If she's talking to you in a very boring, kind of downbeat mode, she's probably not excited. But if she's sitting up and she's laughing and she's excited and smiling and looking at you, she's probably really excited to be there with you and spend time on a date. But it really just comes from body language. And I think with a first date, the biggest thing is just listen and get to know someone. Don't try to make a move right away. Just feel the energy.
She's not on her phone, like like texting and like scrolling, or she's not really giving you conversation, kind of looking off. I would say she may not be that into you, and she's more into the food. So
First dates are always hard because they're awkward and like you don't know what's going on, if anything. I would say if she's being very like open and she's laughing a lot and she's talking a lot, I would say that's a sign that she likes you. If she's like being very reserved and kind of like looking around and not like saying anything, I would say she probably is not into you.
I would say if the conversation's flowing, if she's engaged in the conversation, is she drinking a lot? She just might be getting really drunk, which sometimes helps because people get nervous on first dates. I know I need a glass of wine or something to kind of like loosen me up. But if she's laughing at what you're saying, if she's genuinely interested in the conversation, or if she's like, oh, where's our food? I would say she's probably, not the one.
If there's a second date.
Okay.
I was on Tinder for a little bit, and I only went on a couple dates, and only one guy got a second date, and we actually became really close friends, and we still hang out and talk and stuff today, and he's super awesome.
Yeah.
But the other guys, I noticed that it's a guy thing to want to kiss on the first date, and that's a huge no from me.
Okay.
And that like surprises a lot of people, but I just like, that's a boundary. I'm just like, I've done it. I've kissed someone on a first date, but just to like appease them.
Right.
And that's how I was like, this is not ever happening again.
I would probably say eye contact, like engagement and conversation. Also with that, I think that guys need to remember to let the girl talk. I've been on so many Hinge dates where they run their mouth the entire date, and I'm like, okay, like I probably said 4 things. I know everything about you from 3rd grade to now, and you don't even know my middle name or my last name or whatever it is. So I think just having the girl being engaged, if she's on her phone, if she's picking up her phone every 2 seconds, she's not into you unless there's like a family emergency. But I just think engagement in the date is very, very important in terms of them having interest.
And then do you ever get nervous around guys you like? Like, do you think your body language on a date would reflect maybe the nerves that you're feeling? What are some things that you might do?
Yeah, I don't want to use the word shut down, but I think I'm a lot more reserved around guys that I like. When I'm with my friends, I have a mixed group, guys and girls. They'll tell you I can be a little bit loud. I'm always running my mouth and talking, but if that guy that I like joins the group, I'm a lot more quiet. I'm not saying as much. And for me, I think I just get shy and my entire body language changes. I'm a lot more tense. I'm more aware of, what am I doing with my hands? Like, am I breathing too heavy? Stuff like that. That's how my personal reaction is when a guy comes around that I'm really into.
Okay. And then say, you're on the date's ending. How do you act or what do you say at the end of a date to signal either, hey, I'm interested in you, or not so much?
Yeah, I think I've been on enough dates to, I tell them how it is. If I had a good time, like, I'll probably give them a hug and be like, I had a really great time. We should definitely do this again. Like, I'll text you or you should text me. I'll say something like that. If I'm not into it, I'll usually be like, oh, hey, good meeting you. Like, thank you so much. And avoid a hug at all possible costs unless they do not give me the option.
If I'm not interested, I'm like, oh, okay. I don't know. I would say if I'm interested, I'm like, oh, this was great. I can't wait to see you again. But if I wasn't really interested, I would be more quiet. Like, thank you. Bye.
If I'm not really into him, I would just let him know, I appreciate you taking me out on a date. I thought that this was a nice time. Unfortunately, I don't know if moving forward romantically is the best idea. I think you're a great guy and I would like to be friends with you. That would probably be the best way to approach it, or just let him know that you're not interested in getting serious right now and you don't want to mislead him. And for a first date with a guy that I did like or was interested in pursuing, I would probably, do a little bit of seeing if he's going to kiss me first or if I should make the move. Not opposed to a kiss on the first date, but I think anything further than that is just a little too much for myself.
Yeah, so sometimes I feel like first dates, they might be like, do you want to, get a drink at the bar or something? I might say, I'm really tired, like I have to, I have an early night, I might just kind of call it. And just kind of think about, how the date went overall. Maybe I was in a bad mood or, tired or something. But if you're not feeling it, I think they're probably just going to go home.
I would definitely notion if I liked him that, yes, I'm going to see you again. Yes, I'm going to text you and we're going to have a second date. But if not, I feel like I'm quick to just end it. I don't really like to waste my time. And I know that sounds so rude. I feel like I'm being so rude today.
No, you're not at
But-
all. You're not at all.
I feel like I would just, it was nice to meet you. You're a cool person. I feel like that's a not interested thing I would say. Versus, I'm going to see you again. I'll text you later. And then I'll usually text probably like an hour to 2 hours after our date to let them know, like, that was really fun. I want to see you again. Have a good day. Stuff like that.
Perfect. All right, guys, that is all I have for this video. If you liked it or found it helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to be in the loop for when I release new content. If you like this style of video, you want me to bring girls on more often, please let me know down in the comments. If you haven't already, be sure to follow me over on Instagram at Courtney Christine Ryan. I love connecting with all of you guys over on there as well. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.